Everyone told me that marrying Julian was the ultimate act of betrayal against my family, but I was convinced I could change him. I never imagined that standing at the altar with my sworn enemy was actually the beginning of a cold, calculated game of survival. By the time I realized the ring on my finger was a trap, it was far too late to run. The secret he was hiding in his private study would tear my entire world apart, leaving me with nothing but a thirst for justice and the crushing weight of my own poor choices. For years, my father and Julian were business rivals locked in a bitter struggle for control over our city's trade routes, a conflict that had cost us everything from our reputation to our security. When Juliana approached me, he painted a picture of reconciliation, claiming that a marriage between our houses would stop the bloodshed and unite our strengths for a better future. I was young, naive, and desperate to end the constant tension that permeated every family dinner. So I ignored the warning signs and agreed to his terms. The wedding was a grand affair, yet as I looked out at the guests, I saw nothing but fear and judgment in their eyes. Life inside his estate felt like living in a gilded cage where every room was locked and every conversation was monitored by his loyal guards. I spent my days wandering the halls, trying to find some shred of the man I thought I had married. But he remained a ghost who only appeared at night. One evening, while he was away on business, I found a hidden compartment behind a portrait in his office that contained a thick file labeled with my family name. My stomach turned as I read through the documents, realizing that he had been systematically destroying our assets long before we even met. The air in the room felt heavy and suffocating as I realized that Julian had been gaslighting me for months to keep me distracted. I discovered blueprints of our family's main warehouse hidden alongside fake invoices that he intended to use to frame my father for massive tax evasion. It became clear that he did not marry me for love or peace, but to gain legal access to my father's signature, which he needed to finalize the takeover of our company. My hands trembled as I carefully photographed every single page, knowing that if I left a single trace of my discovery, I would never make it out of that house alive. The suspense was unbearable, especially when I heard his heavy footsteps echoing in the hallway late that night, signaling his early return. I barely managed to slide the files back into the wall and lock the compartment before he turned the door handle, his eyes scanning the room with a suspicious, predatory glare. He asked me why I was still awake, and I had to force a smile while hiding the terror racing through my heart, playing the part of the oblivious wife one last time. That night, I slept with a knife under my pillow, knowing that the man lying next to me was the architect of my family's ruin. The realization hit me harder than any physical blow because I understood that I had been used as a pawn to secure his total victory. I immediately contacted a private investigator to gather evidence of his financial crimes, meeting in shadowy corners of the city to avoid detection. The tension grew daily as I played the role of the devoted wife while secretly photocopying his ledgers and tracking his hidden bank accounts. I knew that one wrong move would mean my disappearance, yet I refused to let him win after what he had done to my father. The turning point came when his top associate discovered my inquiries and confronted me in the garden with a cold, terrifying ultimatum. Instead of crumbling under the pressure, I revealed the secret I had been keeping, which was that I had already sent the evidence to the authorities. His arrogance vanished instantly, replaced by a frantic desperation as he realized his empire was about to collapse under the weight of his own greed. The climax arrived when the police stormed the estate during a gala, exposing his corruption to everyone in the city. In the end, he was left with nothing but handcuffs and the bitter reality that he had underestimated me from the very start. My father and I rebuilt our lives, though we learned the hard way that trust is a luxury that must be earned rather than assumed. This experience taught me that the person who claims to be your savior is often the one you should fear the most. Now, I watch the horizon with clear eyes, knowing that I am stronger for having survived the man who tried to break me. If you enjoyed this story, please support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing to Assembly Battery All Stories. Press the bell icon to stay updated with every new emotional story we upload. I would love to hear your opinion. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the story. See you in the next video.